So tell me if this sounds like you. You ask your child to do something, and they act as if you've asked them to climb Mount Everest. Or maybe you always clean up after your child because it's just not worth the fight to ask them to do it. Or maybe you're too afraid to bring your child to the store or out with friends for fear of them misbehaving and completely embarrassing you. Well, what if there was a way to make sure that when you ask your child to do something, they immediately hear you and get to work without any backtalk, arguing, or complaining? That is exactly why I created the Be Heard method. I want to help you dramatically improve your kids' listening within 5 days so that you can ask your child to do something and have it get done immediately without all that arguing, backtalk, and complaining. Imagine if you no longer had to have your blood pressure spike over the simplest request. Imagine the time and energy you'll get back once your child starts helping around the house without all of that fighting, anger, and resistance. Imagine taking your child to the grocery store and knowing that you're not going to be embarrassed by their meltdown. In 5 short days, the Be Heard method will make these possibilities a reality. As a mom of 2 boys and a foster mom to a lot of kids, I know how challenging life can get when your kids refuse to listen and obey. Nothing pushes my buttons more than having one of my kids whine, complain, or refuse when I ask them to do something simple and easy. That's why I created the Be Heard method, because I needed a solution to help the kids who come through my house quickly learn how to listen and comply. I wanted a format for asking my kids to do things in a way that strengthened our relationship rather than tore it apart. And my goal of sharing the Be Heard method with you is to help you get rid of backtalk, arguing, and defiance, and gain back your time, energy, and relationship when it comes to parenting your children. The Be Heard method, it's a 5-day video course that walks you through the top 5 reasons why kids don't listen and gives you practical tools to address and solve these issues in your home. We're going to cover all of the important topics, including listening skills, dealing with defiance, how to deal with power struggles, control issues, and even negative thinking patterns. And you might have some questions at this point, so let's talk about those. First, maybe you're asking something along the lines of, what if my kid is too defiant or stubborn for this to work? And my answer is that that's great that you have a defiant kid. And no, I'm serious here. So having a defiant or stubborn kid actually means that there's a super clear path to making a plan for addressing their defiance when it comes to not doing what you ask. The Be Heard method works so well for defiant kids. You might also be asking something like, my spouse and I are not on the same page when it comes to discipline. Can this work if it's just me interested in taking this course? And man, I know it can be such a strain on the relationship when one parent has a different approach. I have often had clients tell me that they'll be in the middle of a battle to get their child to do something when their spouse steps in and yells and makes the whole situation worse. The Be Heard method helps you come up with a plan, no matter the situation. So if you know that your spouse is most likely going to jump in, you can include that in your plan and still be successful. Plus, imagine how surprised and intrigued your significant other will be when they start seeing smiling, compliant kiddos. So you might also be asking something along the lines of, hey, I'm so busy. Do I need to devote hours a day for weeks on end to make this work? And no, you totally don't. The Be Heard method is designed to be a quick fix. From day one, you'll have access to all of the course materials, the videos, the bonus material, the workbook, and you can access it at a time that works best for you. The video lesson and workbook are laid out to be completed in 5 days with about 30 to 45 minutes of work each day. However, you can totally go at your own pace. You don't have to complete it all in 5 days. Plus, the exercises and activities can easily be weaved into your everyday normal interactions with your kids. And in fact, starting to practice what you're learning in these real life situations is actually going to start saving you time, since you're not going to have to get caught up in those long arguments and power struggles anymore. So you might also be asking something like, hey, I've got a lot of things to spend my money on right now. Is this really worth it? And the short answer is yes. So for less than the cost of 2 parenting books and way less time than it would take you to read those 2 parenting books, you're actually going to be able to solve the problem of your kids not listening. The only problem you're going to end up with is what to do with all that extra free and peaceful time that you end up having because you're no longer spending hours fighting with your kids. So you might also be asking, what if this really doesn't work for my kids? And I want to be honest with you here and say that there are 2 reasons why the Be Heard method might not work for you. One of them is that if you have a kiddo who has some serious mental health concerns like oppositional defiant disorder, you do need more help than what this course can provide. The other reason why this course might not work for you is that if you don't put in the time to actually do the activities and exercises. So let's be real, just watching a few videos isn't going to solve any parenting struggles. You have to be willing to make changes and put in the work. So I want you to imagine where your relationship with your child could be 5 days from now. You could be enjoying each other's company without all that fighting and defiance. You could be working alongside each other to get the house cleaned up so that you have time to go hang out and have fun together. You could be out to dinner with friends, knowing that your child's going to listen to you and behave throughout the meal. Right now, the Be Heard method is only $24.99. I have it at a special introductory price. So click the Learn More button below and join me in this amazing transformation. I really can't even begin to tell you how big of a change this has been for me and my kids, and I want you to have that transformation as well. I can't wait to see you on the other side of the click.